waited 10 years of my life before getting a cochlear implant. 10 years I'll never get back. At 20 years old, I'd heard murmurings about cochlear implants, but I chose to ignore it all. This was back in the early 90s when I was desperately trying to protect what little hearing I had left. I thought maybe they'll figure out how to regenerate these damaged cells someday. Spoiler alert, it's 2025 and they still haven't. By 20, my hearing aids had become completely unreliable. Some days I'd catch bits of conversation, other days nothing made sense. This inconsistency was exhausting. I never knew if tomorrow would be a good hearing day or a complete fog. I built my entire life around avoiding situations where I needed to hear. I stopped going to social events. I turned down promotions that required more meetings. I even drifted away from my friends because it was too exhausting to keep asking, "What did you say?" Depression crept in, isolation became my normal. I convinced myself I was fine, but I wasn't. I was just surviving and not living. In this video, I'll share what kept me waiting for a decade, what that meant for my life, and some thoughts that might help if you are considering a cochlear implant yourself. Before I continue, if you are finding this helpful, please hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. I've also got 2 other videos about the pros and cons of cochlear implants that might help you make your decision. So why did I wait? First, I was hoping to protect what little hearing I had left. I'd heard that scientists were working on regenerating damaged hair cells in the inner ear. But the truth is, even today, in 2025, this technology is still in early research stages. According to recent studies, while there's promising work being done, we are still years away from clinical treatments. Second, the marketing for cochlear implants was different back then. It wasn't as visible as it is today, though I had heard about them, so the marketing must have been somewhat effective. Third, I didn't even know if I was a candidate. Today, adults with moderate to severe hearing loss who get limited benefit from hearing aids can qualify. Specifically, if you understand 50% or less of sentences when wearing your hearing aids, you might be able to get a cochlear implant. At 30, I finally decided to get my cochlear implant. I should be clear, it wasn't an instant miracle. The first few months were challenging. Sounds were mechanical, voices unfamiliar. But unlike my hearing aids, there was consistency. Each day built on the previous one. With my cochlear implant, I finally had something solid to work with. I could do listening exercises, test myself, push myself to listen and make progress. Each day I had something consistent to build. About 6 months later, my friend casually mentioned, "I just realised I don't write things down for you anymore." And that's when I recognised the profound difference. I could start to rely on my hearing again. The biggest change wasn't just improved hearing, it was the reliability. No more good days and bad days with my hearing. No more exhausting myself trying to concentrate just to catch bits of conversation. Within a year, many aspects of my life had improved. Meetings became less stressful because I could consistently follow them. My career options expanded. I reconnected with friends without the constant anxiety of whether I'd be able to hear them that day. For me personally, I wish I'd considered this option earlier instead of struggling with increasingly unreliable hearing aids. If you are experiencing inconsistent results with hearing aids, it's important to understand both sides. The challenges are real. Surgery, adjustment period, learning to interpret new sounds. But the benefits can be significant, not just improved hearing, but consistent, reliable hearing that you can count on day after day. And it's worth mentioning that these benefits can be influenced by your language development and hearing history. As a child, I had the advantage of normal hearing. Since I could hear normally until the age of 7, my brain had already developed language. This gave me an advantage when learning to interpret cochlear implant sounds. Everyone's results may vary based on their unique hearing journey. It's not perfect, technology. Some sounds might never seem natural. Music might sound different than you remember. But for me, even these limitations to reliability alone made a tremendous difference in my quality of life. Looking back at my journey, those 10 years of unpredictable hearing were unnecessarily difficult, not because a cochlear implant is perfect, but because for me it provided consistency I had forgotten was possible. I'd love to hear where you are in your hearing journey. Are you experiencing a frustrating inconsistency with hearing aids? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to check out my other videos on the pros and cons of cochlear implants. Everyone's hearing journey is different. What worked for me might not be right for you, but I hope by sharing my experience it helps you consider your options with clearer perspective.